Jesus was filled with many incredible feats, or miracles. These miracles included changing water into wine, feeding thousands with just a few loaves of bread, or even raising the dead. Imagine you're a simple villager and you see a man walk on water. Those are the kinds of amazing things Christ did. First, we'll travel to Cana, a small town in the region of Galilee, where Christ performed his first miracle. Now, the first exciting miracle performed by the one and only Son of God, Jesus Christ, was the changing of water into wine at the wedding feast of Cana. We hear all about this occurrence in John's Gospel. Jesus met with his disciples in the town of Cana for a wedding. It was a covenant between the bride, aka the church, and the groom, aka Christ. At the end of the night, Mary noticed that the wine was running out. She said to Jesus,
"They have no wine."
"Woman, how does this concern me? My hour has not yet come."
"Do whatever he tells you."
"Fill those jars to the brim with water." "Draw some out now and take it to the head waiter."
He had actually turned the water into wine. Delicious! When they took the so-called water to the head waiter, he drank it and summoned the bridegroom. He said to him,
"Everyone serves the good wine first, and then when the people have drunk freely, an inferior one. But you have kept the good wine until now."
Dang right I did.
But this was only the first of Jesus' many miracles. Jesus' next miracle was an incredible example of God's holy power, an exorcism of a terrible demon from a young boy. Let's go! This is an excerpt from the book of Mark. When they came to the disciples, they saw a large crowd around them, and scribes arguing with them. Immediately upon seeing him, the whole crowd was utterly amazed. They ran up to him and greeted him. He asked them,
"What are you arguing with them about?"
"Teacher, I brought you my son, who is possessed by a spirit that has robbed him of speech. Whenever it seizes him, it throws him to the ground. He foams at the mouth, gnashes his teeth, and becomes rigid. I asked your disciples to drive out the spirit, but they could not."
So they brought him. When the spirit saw Jesus, it immediately threw the boy into a convulsion. He fell to the ground and rolled around, foaming at the mouth.
"How long has he been like this?"
"Since childhood, but if you can do anything, take pity on us and help us."
"You deaf and mute spirit, I command you, come out of him and never be in him again."
Amazing! Can you imagine a demon controlling your life, manipulating and hurting you? Think of the relief of finally being rid of such an evil entity. The third remarkable miracle that we will be talking about today is the raising of Jairus' daughter from the dead. In the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, we hear all about Jesus raising Jairus' daughter. Jesus crossed a lake to a small town. When he arrived there, he heard news that a young girl was about to die.
"My little daughter is dying. Please come lay your hands on her so that she will live."
"Your daughter is dead. Why bother the teacher anymore?"
Jesus tried to get through to save the girl, but a bleeding woman stopped him, knowing that by just touching his cloak, she would be saved.
"Don't be afraid. Just believe."
Jesus then went into the house, along with Peter, John, James, and the child's parents, and he healed the deceased 12-year-old girl. The citizens of this town were already mourning and wailing for this poor child, but Jesus told them to stop wailing, because the child was not dead. She was only asleep.
Why all of this commotion? The
child is not dead, but sleeping.
The people laughed at him, for they knew the girl had died. But Jesus took her hand and told her to get up.
Talitha koem.
Which means, little girl, I say to you, get up. And to everyone's astonishment, she sat up. Jesus gave the people firm orders not to tell anyone what they had just witnessed. Jesus also provided for his loyal disciples in the feeding of the 5,000 in Mark chapter 6. One especially crowded day, Jesus left the city and retreated to a nearby desert area. There, the people flocked to him in the thousands. Out of loving compassion, Jesus healed their sick and taught the masses. As the day wore on, Jesus' disciples asked him to send the multitude of people away so that they could go home, eat, and rest. However, Jesus said to them, "They need not depart. Give ye them to eat." The disciples were perplexed, since they only had 5 loaves and 2 fish to give to the people. However, Jesus calmly had the crowd sit down and, breaking the bread, blessed it, and gave it to the disciples to be distributed. Amazingly, after the food was handed out to the crowd, there were enough scraps to fill 12 whole wicker baskets. Can you imagine having that much food? That's sure more than I could eat in a day. Jesus made sure that his people were cared for. His breaking and blessing of the bread is a beautiful parallel to the Last Supper and the Eucharist. Overall, Jesus' miraculous works remain relevant to today's faith. His compassionate actions encourage us, as Catholics, to help the less fortunate in our community. Jesus' miracles truly express God's love for each and every one of us.
Hello, Steve Ray here. I am in Bethsaida, right on the shore of Galilee, the hometown of Peter and Andrew and Philip, and where Jesus healed a blind man and did other things. And I'm making this movie and saying hello to Ellie, Lydia, Jose, Aiden, Silas. I think I got all of you. And I want to say hello and thanks for watching my movies. And I think it's great that you're making your own movie. I'm in a place right here, since you're making a movie on the miracles of Jesus, I'm in a place right here where Jesus performed one of the great miracles and healed a blind man. He spit on his eyes. Can you believe how unsanitary that is? He spit on the man's eyes, touched his eyes, said, "Can you see?" The man says, "I see men walking around like trees." And Jesus touched his eyes again, and he could see everything. And he became an immediate disciple of Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say hello from the place of the miracles of Jesus, and keep up the good work, you guys. I love it.
Stop wailing because the child
Not
was
dead.
not dead.
Sorry, did you say
She was
T'Challa?
asleep.
T'Challa?
Oh, sweet Juliet.
Didn't work.
Come on, backwards.
How did you do it?
Go.
They have no wine.